Hello, guys, and welcome to episode one of season three. We did have the little mini megabyte episode, but this is the first big episode of season three, and we are joined with the amazing Retro Revival. We are really happy to have him. He does a lot of stuff on TikTok, he's on Twitch and YouTube. But Retro, I'm going to leave it to you to kind of introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about what you do and who you are.
Yeah, hi Dan. My name's Retro Revival, but obviously I go as Tom. I don't go around the streets as Retro Revival. And like you said, I'm a content creator, I suppose, streamer. Leaning more into sort of the streaming, but using content creation as we all have to do. That's the nature of the beast.
Hmm.
I'm on
Yeah,
TikTok, YouTube, Twitch. Been doing it coming up properly about 2 years in March.
Nice.
wow.
And really just something. I'm 38 now. Something when I was 36, I thought for years I'd missed the boat. I was too old. Like if I was 5, 10 years younger, I'd have been straight on the streaming and stuff. And I just thought, fuck it, give it a go. Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
I haven't checked. Can I swear on this?
of course you can.
Yeah, yeah,
Of
All right,
course you
okay,
can.
okay. I normally check before and I didn't. Yeah, because
We got to
yeah.
start the whole thing again.
And I also have a podcast myself, 30 something gamers that
Yeah.
I do with Boxy, which is something I really enjoy. So yeah, that's about me. I mean, forgetting the whole family man, 2 kids, primary school teacher. On top of that, as if
Yeah.
I've got enough time.
I actually forgot about that because we both work in the education
Mm.
sector. Obviously, you're a teacher. I'm more of the pastoral side. But just talk to us a little bit about how it is juggling that, because obviously a lot of people think, oh, teachers, school staff, we have loads of holidays. It must be amazing. Just
Yeah,
how
you do have
much?
loads of holidays.
Well, we
Let's just get rid
work.
of him. Can we just get rid of him?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but just talk to us about, how it is juggling that family doing you, because I looked on one of your recent TikToks and you stream 6 days a week. Or you were before your,
Yeah,
your laptop broke, as you were saying before.
yeah.
So how is juggling all of that?
Absolute nightmare. It is so draining to do. I have to use my superpower, which is ADHD. My brain never switches off, so it's like that thing
Mm.
of once I get in from work, and like say people say you get lots of holidays and stuff as a teacher. Working in education, working in schools, you'll know, Dan. It's nothing like that. And by the time it gets to that week off, you are mentally and drained. And
Yeah,
normally when you stop, that's when the sickness bug all the kids have had come and attack you. So
yeah,
you don't really get
yeah.
that much time off. And then during school time, like as a teacher, I'm in at about sort of 7 o'clock, half 7, sorry, half 7. I'm out about 5 o'clock every single day, but then there's still work to do at home, mark and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So for me, when I first started this, I talked to the missus and said, "Look, this is what I want to do, but I know it's going to be really time consuming." Um,
Mm.
but the family has to come first. I said,
100%.
I said, anything I do, anything money I put into it, I will only use from money that we sort of get from streaming and stuff like that. I
Yeah.
mean, the collecting and stuff that I do, that was something I did all anyway, so it wasn't really extra money. If anything, I've
Mm.
been able to put more into it with what I've been doing. So I wake up in the morning, take the kids into to their nanas, go to work, come back, and I do nothing until the kids are in bed, and the kids normally go to bed about 8 o'clock. And then that's why my streams normally start about 8 o'clock. Kids will be about 7. We'll try and get them down. Hopefully, they get sleep a bit earlier. And it can be manic. And yeah, you mentioned 6 days a week. The way I've worked it is just trying to see what works. Firstly,
Mhm.
I think more try to follow the algorithm and stuff more than I am now, more than I want more than I really want to now. I'm stepping away
Yeah.
from that. Um, but early doors, first year or so, I was definitely chasing that, and I knew
Mhm.
consistency was key. Regular days, that's what TikTok liked, and I just basically did it. So although I was doing 6 days rather than 3, 4, I actually had more time with the missus because what I would do is I'm doing 6 days a week, so I'm doing an hour and a half at the most. Whereas when I was doing 3 days a week, I was doing like 3-4 hour streams
Mm.
each sort of day. Whereas this is,
Yeah.
although most days of the week I'm streaming, we've got one of our youngest, who's 1.5. She takes longer to go down, so the missus
Yeah.
puts her down. So by the time she's down from putting the bed down, I've already streamed half an hour. So I'm only on half an hour to an hour, and then come back and we watch something, up
Yeah.
there. And that's the key, is trying to come up with that. And it is hard. I have had to have time off, like a couple of weeks before. I felt I was getting to burnout,
Hmm.
because I do create a lot of content as well. And then recently over Christmas, I've had a little break. I was thinking of slowing down a bit, but I had a lot of stuff planned, so I was a little bit. I got in a little bit of a petulant child mood when my laptop broke, and it broke 2 days before Christmas. It went in 10 days.
Oh.
It came back and said they couldn't fix it, so I've had to send it off. So it's currently in
Oh.
Poland,
Oh,
trying to get
nice.
fixed. That's apparently where Asus fix their laptops.
Oh,
So I'm
okay.
waiting for it
Yeah.
to come back, and I've got good plans for this year, but they've had to take a little bit of a step back. And I was a little bit like sort of annoyed because I had it right. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this. But then I thought, you know what it is? I can't complain. I'm going to spend more time with my kids. It's Christmas.
100%.
Unfortunately,
Yeah.
my mum was a little bit poorly over Christmas.
Oh,
She's okay
sorry
and
about that, mate.
she's absolutely fine now. But it gave me time to sort of make sure she was okay and look after her. So
Yeah,
things happen for a reason, and maybe I
Yeah.
needed that break.
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's
100%.
helped us. It's helped us crack on through a couple of games off stream, which is nice.
Yeah, well, I found I really enjoyed that because I took the decision that like I said to my missus because I knew that I wanted to get a lot of content ready for Christmas to kind of
Mhm,
like make it feel like I wasn't having a break when
mhm,
I wouldn't have touched any social media, but things
Yeah.
happened and a lot of work where it just kind of ended up being that I couldn't do that. So in the end, I just went on me TikTok and went, I'm gonna have a break. You're not gonna see me for two
Yeah.
weeks, and I think it's important to do that. Um,
mhm.
we're gonna go into you touched on it there, retro, but we're gonna go and talk a little bit about content creation now.
Okay, yeah.
So poetic, if you want to
Yeah.
kick us off with that.
Yeah. So you briefly mentioned like burnout, just based off the demands of your life, really. But how do you combat that?
Do you mean how do I combat when I'm burnt out, or how do I combat sort of getting to that point?
I guess both, really, because
Yeah.
yeah, I guess both.
Um, at the start, I didn't do it very well. I was just sort of like, right, I'm going to make all this content and spend ages of time and focus on like lighting and stuff like that. Like I did a degree in media production and stuff myself, so I
Oh
get
wow.
really
Ooh,
like sort of
sick.
yeah, I get really sort of into the particulars and stuff when it comes to like editing and stuff like that at the start. And then I was like, what am I doing? I can't do this. You know what I mean? And it's not long form content for YouTube or anything. I'm spending there ticking the ages doing all this, and then like 200 people are going to watch the video.
Mm,
It's not going to go anywhere. So I just sort of evolved as I go on. Anyone out there who's starting content creation, you'll always get these videos coming up because this is what will happen if you start content creating. You'll start getting an odd video will come up with these guys who go like, "Oh well, this is definitely how to beat the algorithm. Do this, and you'll get like thousands of views and
Yeah.
thousands of followers." And you'll stay and you'll watch because you'll think, "Is there anything I can use?" And then you'll get more and more and more through on your feed. And
yeah.
then eventually you start off in this echo chamber where you're just like, I have to do all these things. I have to have a good hook, which you do, but I have to have a good hook. I have to stream, post 3 times a day. I have to post at this time. I have to post daily. I have to do this. Um, and a lot of the times, like you've just got to take it off. The world is full of blaggers, and you
Yep.
go online and you look
Yeah.
on most of their posts, and most of their posts, um, you've got more viewers than them, or
Yeah.
you've got more followers
Yeah.
than them. And even if they don't, if they've got loads of viewers, if you look at their content is all based on how to get bigger, and loads of people are trying to do that. So
Mm,
people are going to watch that, and they always talk about having a good hook, which is your first say 0 to 10 seconds, getting the person involved in that, and that is true.
mhm.
But if your first part of the video is here's how to get 1 million followers, every single video, that's a hook that lots of people are going to watch. If you're doing content
Yeah.
on video
Exactly.
games or fashion or whatever it is your niche, you can't have that every single time. I mean, you can, and there's two guys that I love, the two Kyles I call them, and I don't know if you've seen them online.
No.
One lad he basically goes into HMV. and he looks at stuff and gives like a funny commentary on over the top of it. He does a few other shops and stuff now, but he's like quite shouty
Yeah.
on it, and he's taking the mic. And then there's another guy called Kyle who mainly his main shop is B&M. He goes into B&M, but and he again a funny commentary on it. But
Mm.
when he starts it off, he always starts off with a fake product that he's EI'd up. So
Oh yeah, yeah, I've seen that.
he'll
Yeah.
say something like, "Oh, I can't believe B&M have got the new Five Nights at Freddy's Rockstar energy drink," and then the picture of it comes up, and then he goes through the whole video, and obviously people watch it because they're waiting to look at that drink, and then he's like, at the end, he's like, "Oh, I couldn't find it," and he does it every time, and he's absolutely minute. He's found a great niche, and they started after me, and they've skyrocketed past me when it comes to content, because there are ways that you can lean in and get content to sort of work, but
Mhm.
you've got to think
Yeah.
what you want to do it for. And
That's
if you
it.
want lots of viewers and stuff like that, and you want start to make a little bit of money from it, what those two Kyles are doing is absolutely amazing.
Mhm.
Like it is exactly what I would do. That's not what I'm trying to build my. I always sound like a tit when I say this, but like my brand, like that's how I view
No,
myself.
Definitely not.
you
Yeah.
sound like a tit anyway, so just keep talking and you'll try.
Says the Scouser here. Says the Scouser.
We're only messing. No, but
uh,
what
but
I'm
no,
gonna
but
need
so.
subtitles for this episode, by the
yeah,
Yeah,
way.
you can just be our interpreter, Poetic. You can be our interpreter.
yeah.
Yeah. So you can lean into those, and at the start, when again going around, sorry, that's an ADHD tangent. Going into sort of a
No.
burnout,
No, we
I would
like
look
it.
at all these things and try and do them. And if you go back to a certain like month or two of about a year ago, I was making videos where I was doing editing. I did it on Portal, where I was going through portals and stuff like that, and and I was thinking of really good ideas, and I liked them. I thought they were good content. I don't think they were bad, but they just
Yeah.
didn't garner enough traction, and I'd spend so much time on them. So
Mm.
I had to think, right, if I want to put out, because just before Christmas, leading up to it, now again, I've took my foot off the gas with this as well. I was doing 3 videos a day, one in the morning, one at dinner time, and one on an evening. And I couldn't do that if I was producing them at that level. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
basically now, I'm right. I need a stock of videos. At the minute, I've got loads of my drafts. I don't script my videos, so they all come off the top of my head. So normally, what I'll do is I'll sit if I've got new games that I've got in a collection. I'll sit down. Right, what can I say about them? Sometimes I'll go online, look for interesting facts about them or something like that,
Okay.
and then I'll just sit, record, and that's it. Go. I used to edit a little bit. I edit less now. So if the video takes a minute, if it's a minute long video, probably takes me 3 minutes to record, edit, and have it ready
Yeah.
in the drafts,
I
because you
like it.
just get used to it when you've done it for like 2 years. You just know, right, that sound. Put a little filter on because I'm an old bastard. Um, and just you know what things that you're going to have in. I know I need to cut between there, and it just becomes quick. So and then on top of that, what I started doing was clipping from my streams,
Yeah.
which again is really
Yeah.
easy. I just I was doing it a harder way. I was using TikTok Live, and that took ages. And I did again. This is the gods looking down on me. I paid for a month worth of this EI subscription that does it from your streams.
Okay.
Um, I can't remember which one it is. I think maybe the same one I've heard you mention before, Dan. And the reason I can't
The
remember,
metrical one.
I think it might be that I can't remember. I saw another streamer promoting it, and I thought I'll give it a go.
Mhm.
Um, I got the subscription, and my laptop broke the next day, so I've not done any
Oh
streams
my
Oh.
since
days.
I've done it. So I used it on a couple of old streams, and I think, oh, this could be what I use. But to be fair, you get in a thing. So my stream clips don't get many views, but this is the way I look at it now. My stream clips don't get many views, and I'm not bothered,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's not for me promoting the channel. My videos, sorting the camera and stuff, are the way I grow it is through my stream, and the clips are more for people who I've got a community now who didn't get in the stream,
Mhm.
and little bits and stuff like that, and it's to keep that sort of community
Yeah.
engagement. And this is a sort of epiphany I had the last couple of months or so, just with the way things have happened and stuff. Is I'm happy to grow slower. I sort of got hit 10,000 quite quick, and then I'm up to about 15,000 at the minute.
Yeah.
And I know there's certain things I could do to grow my numbers on TikTok. but there would be people who aren't going to engage with my videos, who aren't going to come into streams. And
Yeah.
primarily, when I think, what is it I want to do? I want to stream and build a community, and that's where I want to go with. So I
Hmm.
could put up a video that jumps on the latest trend, or dance, or 6, 7 at the sailing school, or whatever it
Oh, don't
is.
get me started on
I
6, 7.
know, I
Jesus
know,
Christ.
and I could do those and get views and get viewers, but they're not going to come in the streams. They're not going to
No.
um, support me and follow me on Twitch and give me the
Yeah.
viewing hours and the viewing average that I need to grow to get to affiliate and stuff like that. So I've had a sort of, right, I need to take my mind off this growing in numbers and empty numbers and stuff like that. But when you first start, that's what you think. More numbers equals better.
Yeah.
But like those two Kyles, they're great, and I love them. I have a chat on with them every now and again and stuff like that. But I feel like if they wanted to go in, they put some videos about game and facts and stuff like that, they wouldn't get the views that sort of I'm getting, if you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
That's it.
it
Yeah.
takes me double the time to get to 30,000, but that means when I get to 30,000, all my videos hit 2,000 views because I've got engaged sort of viewership. I think
Yeah.
that's
100%.
that's the
That's
key.
it. Well, the thing that I always think, and I think a little tip for anyone starting is if you look at like all of my original videos, my highest viewed videos, there's one that has my face in. All the others are memes and little CapCut templates that I did when I first started.
Yeah,
But
well, we can all see your face, Dan, so we understand why that is.
yeah, that's it. That's it.
That's why
Um,
my camera's off.
Yeah, we haven't even like mentioned that. We haven't even mentioned that. I might just have to get like a
Yeah.
little animation that your mouth moves or something
Yeah,
as we're
yeah,
doing it.
yeah,
Yeah, so Retro Revival's camera isn't working, but it was either his camera or his voice, and we
yeah,
we much prefer not to
yeah.
see him and hear him.
Yeah, I've got a face for radio, as they used to say. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I mean, we kind of just like blitz through
Well,
content creation there. I think.
I've got one question
Go for it. Go
on
for it.
that. So you sort of touched upon this at the start, but what has your journey been like, and what actually made you get started? Because I know you mentioned you thought you were late to the party, so to speak,
Mhm.
but what actually made you decide that you know what, I'm going to do this?
So I've been a gamer all my life. Started with
Mhm.
Sonic the Hedgehog 1 back on the Mega Drive was my first like sort of game that was mine. I played like on a couple of my cousins and stuff,
Oh,
Amigas and Commodores and stuff like that. But I got a Mega Drive a couple of years after it came out. Um, and I've just fell in love with it straight away. I honestly it is, with my ADHD, it is the only thing that calms me. There's so many people I meet with ADHD that's it. And I don't mean calm me as in, oh, I'm angry and if I'm hyper and stuff, I'm just going to game. I just think that the fact that it sort of like engages your brain, your hand, your
Yeah.
hearing,
It's a
all your
form
yeah,
senses
of regulation, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, and it's always been there. It's been a constant um through my whole life. So I've gamed all my life. However, my collection, my sort of collecting, I didn't keep my stuff from a kid. Unfortunately, I'm buying games back now for hundreds of quid that I had as a kid, which
yeah.
is horrible.
Wow.
Conker's Bad Fur Day. I'm looking at you. I still haven't got that, but 250 quid in its box, and I have to.
Oof.
Wow.
It is just
Wow.
it's
Do,
crazy.
do, do you see though, just sorry to go off on a little tangent, when you're buying those games, are they more so for, for you and your legacy going forward, and so your kids can see what you grew up with? Or do you think of it as more of like, this is 250 quid now, in 10 years it could be 500, Do you see it more as
Yeah,
an investment type thing?
the investment line is for the missus. Whenever I spend 250 quid, and then she goes,
Yeah,
"Oh, don't worry. In 10 years' time, this'll pay the mortgage, man. Don't worry."
yeah,
No, I don't really think about the money in that respect. Like, I know roughly how much my collection's worth, and hopefully I'll be able to leave that for the kids. But I'd like to think that the kids, I mean, they're too young now to know whether the gamers, but I've not really sort of let them on systems or anything like that. But
yeah,
I'd like to think that they want to keep it and go on. And I've had this conversation before with Boxy on our podcast, that
yeah,
sometimes one of my sort of confessions that we did on one episode was, sometimes I think I enjoy the thrill of the collecting and the chase as much as playing games. And I think it's like, you come to that thing
Yeah.
of people collecting Pokemon cards and stuff like that. Like, what is the end goal in collecting a Pokemon card? Like,
Yeah.
nothing. It really, people don't play the Pokemon card game with them. You know
No.
what I mean? You know, they collect them for the thrill, for prestige, for other stuff like that. And I mean, it does help and stuff with content. But I've always been a collector, whether it be like as a kid, comics and things like that. And it was just a natural thing. And I started about 12 years ago to really start the collection again
Yeah.
and get my old systems and stuff like that. And that's when
Good
it started
going,
to
that.
build. Yeah,
Mm.
it sort of coincided with me roughly getting with my fiance now. It was about
Mm.
12 years ago, and I mentioned something, and she got me a couple of old consoles for Christmas, and it just spiraled from there. But she regrets that now.
Yeah.
Now that the garage
Yeah.
has 2,000 games in it. But
Wow.
Bloody
for
hell.
me, it just grew from there. So we started. So I'm currently going for a full PS2 PAL and for a full Xbox 360 PAL. And then the other collections, I'm sort of curating a list. I'm using it as sort of content. I'm doing these videos that
Mhm.
haven't started, but I haven't really took off yet because Christmas took all my money, obviously, with kids.
Yeah.
But and again, tongue in cheek, I'm saying I've got the best collection in the UK. And I know people. I'm seeing it more, so people coming and going, oh yeah, well, I've seen this. You haven't got this. You haven't got that.
It's rage, but it's the hook that you were talking about
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
before.
the
that's
Like,
hook,
the
and
hook.
I quickly say afterwards, like, say, well, if I haven't, I'm going to. And what I'm doing
mm,
is I'm working away through my different systems and saying, look, people have different collections. What I'm saying is I'm going to have the best collection of games to play. So I might have your limited editions and
I
all this
like
type
it.
of stuff. But if you
Yeah.
walk my room, you can play the best variety of games. So what I'm doing is I'm working through each of my systems. So I started a master system. I've still got a couple to get. And I said, right, I'm going to start a master system. These are what I've got. Give me 5 games that I need to put in to make this like sort of the best master system collection it can
Yeah.
I
be.
like it.
And then I'm
Yeah.
going to move on to another collection and say, give us 5 Mega Drive games to add in, and I'm going to work through them. And then obviously I'm going for the full PS2 and the full Xbox 360, and then see how it goes. Maybe loop back around and
Oh, I love that. I
things in.
absolutely love that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So,
then so this didn't even start as content creation. So I started collecting, and then what I did about 2.5 years ago, maybe nearly 3 years ago, I thought, why don't I start buying and selling? I can be a Dell boy. I can, go out and find Zelda Ocarina of Time for £5, then go and sell it for like 100 quid. So I started going to car boots and things like that, and getting games and trying to flip them. And that was me going, right, what I'm going to try and do now. I've got kids. I'm going to try and use the money I flip from these to grow my collection. So
Yeah.
any of the money's going to the
yeah.
kids. And I just thought, you know what it is? I'll buy off. What is the main? I hated eBay. I don't know what anyone else out there. I hate eBay. It's better now.
I'm
I
there
hate
with you.
eBay.
I'm
It's the
there with
part
you.
Yeah.
selling it's okay. It's posting it and sending it. I choose the wrong size every time. I'm always out of pocket because I have to pay extra than what it was, and then go in the post office. And I don't know what that's just a me thing, and that's why I didn't sell much on eBay. But a few 3 years ago or so is when Vinted started to come bigger, and with the drop off with the parcel boxes things, I just thought
Yeah.
that is so easy, and I started
Yeah.
doing it, and I was like, right, this is great. And I thought, right, Vinted's smaller. It's not eBay. It hasn't got the sort of the reputation that it has, so people don't trust it as much. What can I do so people know that I'm a legitimate seller to advertise the games and stuff? So I set up a TikTok and I advertised the games that I had and I showed them playing. So if anyone was asking about a game, I could say, I'll go and have a look at it. Or people would go
Yeah.
from the TikTok to the Vinted. And that sort
Yeah.
of
I like
worked,
it.
and it built up. And the same as you, Dan, the content of it wasn't me on screen at the time. I was scared. I was like a teacher. I can't be on. I'm a teacher. The kids are
Yeah.
fine. It's like get the sack, all that jazz. Even though I'm only playing or is Afterburner on the Mega Drive or something. But then it just grew from there. So it just kept going. And my highest rated video, I've got 1.7 million views on it. Is just footage
Wow.
of
Bloody
Driver.
hell.
It's just footage of Driver for a minute.
Is
Oh
that
Simple as
wow.
that.
the original Driver or
Yeah,
Driver
on the
San
PS
Francisco?
Driver on the PS1, just the
Oh,
original
Oh,
Driver.
nice.
It was my kid's birthday weekend, and my phone just kept going daft. It had been up a month, and it just kept going daft. And I was like, "What's it keep going?" I'd put it at the side. I was like, "Why does my phone keep going off?" And I went and looked. I was like, "Christ, that video!" And it just, I don't know what it is. People in France started. You could see by the likes and stuff like that.
it's mental,
Um,
isn't it?
it is, and again, I could keep, and the same as you, Dan. I've stopped creating that content because I could create that and I could get followers, and I could get views with high in, and I could make a little bit of money off that video. But that's not what I'm trying to grow,
Hmm.
because
Yeah.
any single person out there, especially with emulators now, can put on a video of the footage of Driver. So what am I adding
Yeah.
to that anyone else is at? I'm not adding
Yeah.
anything. So yeah, I get lucky and stuff like that, but it's not adding anything in there. That's not me. I've got to think, what am I trying to sell? What if I want to get sponsors for the podcasts, sponsors for streaming, I want to get affiliate and stuff like that? What is a footage of a game going to do? Because my
Are
video,
you not affiliate yet on streaming? I thought you were.
yeah, I think it's the next one. What's the one after?
Oh,
I
a
don't
partner.
partner. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
If I want to get a partner and stuff like that, that's the next goal.
Yeah.
Um, those videos and stuff aren't going to do anything for it. So don't always lean in, because I spent like sort of months just putting footage of games, and look at what game's going to get lots of followers. But then I'm not selling me; I'm selling the game.
Yeah.
Mm.
And people, a lot of people who listen to Retro Game Podcast will probably know Keel,
Oh
who's
yeah.
the content creator on there. And love him or hate him, he's good at what he does.
Yeah.
Or
Yeah.
otherwise he wouldn't have had the
He's
success
brilliant.
that he does. So I always think it doesn't matter whether you like or you don't like someone. If someone's successful, you've got to take like sort of notice of what they're
Notes.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of his advice was like, you've got to think of what you're selling, and he sells him. His
Yeah.
video and stuff, it's the commentary, it's what he says and stuff that you are listening to, and that was a shift for me. So it looks like my numbers and stuff have dropped, but I'm not chasing those like sort of little numbers and things like that. So yeah, it started off trying to sell games, and then it was just about 9 months in, and I just thought I'll live stream a game that I've got that I'll sell him. And I've always wanted to. It'll just be a laugh. It was I'm in the office now, not in my games room. It was a CRT on the side, just my phone pointing at it. Did it, and I enjoyed it. Then didn't do it again for a month, and then over that Christmas, did spotty a couple of streams, um, and had a few people. Someone came in and dropped me 1 coin on TikTok, and I
Hmm.
was amazed. I was like,
Yeah.
Christ, why are people doing this? And then got a guy called David, who started to become a regular, my first regular, and that was like, I can do this. Then it was in the March. I was like, right, let's go for it. Why not?
Yeah.
And that's what I say to anyone out there who's thinking, oh, there's this problem, there's that problem. I just pointed my phone at a CRT in a office that was full of shit. And just go from there. And the best thing is, the only way you can learn and the only way you can get better, if you think I'm not be good at this, I'll not be there. The only way you will learn and get better is to actually do it.
That's
And
it.
I
Yeah.
bet every streamer and every content creator, no matter how big they are, talk to them, go or find a video where they're talking about their growth or whatever. They will hate their first videos. They will
Oh
look at
yeah.
their first streams and say, "I was terrible. I couldn't talk,"
Oh
and
yeah.
all that sort of type of
That's
stuff.
it.
And the only way you get better is to do it. So jump in both feet.
That's it.
Yeah.
Um,
Absolutely.
you touched on it a little bit. This is gonna be the last little thing of content creation, and I'm gonna touch on more of like gaming and just your opinion on different games and stuff. But talk to us a little bit about 30 something gamers. Why did you feel the need to kind of jump into that podcast space? Because it is an oversaturated space. You know, we know it. We obviously we do our own podcast. What was the feeling behind that? Why did you decide to go for that?
Well, my key skill is talking shit. So I thought,
I picked the
Christ,
wrong time to have a drink then.
You,
I thought streaming
we've
and
got to clip
podcast.
that.
I thought streaming and podcasting's the only way forward if you can talk shit. Um,
Why not?
like I say, I did a degree in media production, so it was media production, TV, and radio. But you specialise, and I specialised in radio because I was going to be obviously the next Pete Tong when I was a kid. I used to DJ. I was doing radio. I was going to make it big. So I did all that production, and I've did audio production and stuff like for years.
Hmm.
I've always done it, and I've always loved it. So I started the streaming. And I'm always looking, right, what's the next step? What's my move
Yeah.
forward? I think you stop growing, you stop moving once you become stagnant
Yeah.
and you're going, oh, it's going well, so I'll keep doing this. It's right, it's going well, so how do I improve it and move forward? And I was going across, and I come across a video from a man known as Coach Marv, which we'll
Hmm.
all know. Champion the
Yeah.
Gamer, and it was
Yeah.
before he had his podcast, and he put out a video and said, "If I was going to do a podcast, what do you think it would be about? And would it work? And all this type of stuff." And I thought, hmm, podcast, that sounds good. And I actually
Yeah.
sent Marv a message, and I said, Marv, that sounds like an awesome thing. I said, I've not really thought about that because I've been that much into content creation. I said, and I actually said, so this is on there. I probably got pied by Coach Marv. I said, if you ever think about doing it, um, give us a shout. I might be interested if you wanted someone to do with it. And I love Marv to
Oh,
bits, even though he's a
wow.
Newcastle fan. Even though he's a Newcastle fan, I absolutely love Marv to bits. Um, we message all the time, myself,
He's
Tanya, and Marv.
class. He's a good lad.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. He's
He is
brilliant.
the most genuine person you will ever meet on this app, which is hard to find online. So he
Hmm.
is awesome. And he was like, no, and then he mentioned, oh, he says if I do it, I'm probably going to do like an interview type one, which obviously we know Champion the Gamer now. It wouldn't have worked like with Tuchel. Well, it might have, but I feel like Marv is great at what he does, and it works for
100%.
Yeah.
him. The reason I'd asked Marv, to be fair, is at the time I hadn't really thought about it. I knew I needed someone to bounce off. I
Yeah.
knew a podcast of me just talking. Although I can talk shit, I talk my best shit when I've got someone else talking shit. So I thought I need
That's
someone
why it
else.
decides to come on here, isn't it?
Yeah. And I just so after that, I'd followed Boxy for a little while,
Mm.
and Boxy
Mhm.
Hearty, who I do my podcast with, and really loved his stuff. Thought he was dead clever, great way with words.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I
Paul
call him the
Otterson,
Monty Python of TikTok.
yeah, he is so good, and he's natural with it. Like I say,
Mm.
he's really natural with it. And I sent him a message about a week later and said, "Look," I said, I'm thinking about a podcast. I said, I think we would work well together."
Hmm.
And that was about the November. And then I think we just family got in the way, and it got till December, and we had a phone call in December, and we said, "Should we have a phone call and have a chat on with each other to see whether it's going to work?" Because it's pointless if
Yeah.
we put
Yeah.
the camera on, the mic on, and we just don't sort of gel.
I think we did
Vibe.
the
Yeah.
same thing.
Yeah. We did. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
on one of my lives, I think.
and I think we mainly talked about gravy and chips for like an hour and a half. And I think that's when I knew this will work because we could talk about something that was not important, not interesting at all, and had like a laugh. And then I thought, well, if we steer this and have a bit of a script and a bit of a schedule and say we're doing this point, this point, this point,
Yeah.
then what could it do? And again, stuff got in the way. And I think it was the February this time last year, we started it. And it just went on from there, and we've adapted and changed as we've went on. Again,
Yeah.
I listened back to the first podcast. We're about we're 30 episodes in, but the first ones were double length. We started at like 2.5 hours or so.
We're the
So
same.
I keep
Oh,
saying
yeah.
we're about we realized that wasn't working, so we got it down, and so we've got 30 episodes, but the first ones are double episodes, and then we do the sort of spin-off podcast, which we got about 10 episodes of now. So we're about 50 episodes, if you look at it like that. And I listen back to my first
Nice.
episodes now, and I'm just like, oh, it's it's so bad, so
Yeah.
cringe.
You can
We
hear the
was
dead air, and you're like, fill it with something.
Yeah, a
Give
little
me
bit.
something.
We got onto it considering it was the first time we talked at length about video games and stuff like that. I think, oh, it's good. But now we're so much more natural with each other. And again, I feel like we're different sides of the same coin.
Mm.
Yeah.
We are very different, but very very similar. We have same views on some things and polar opposites. But again, there are a million gaming podcasts out there, as you
Yeah.
guys will know, because you'll be looking around, listening to them, and trying to go and stuff on them.
Yeah.
And me and Boxy say, right, what is it that why do people want to listen to ours? And it sounds big headed and arrogant, but we said it's got to be us. We're
Yeah.
not we're not
Yeah.
smart enough to
No.
have
Absolutely.
we're not smart enough to have all the facts on games. We're not good enough gamers. We're not big enough to people want to value our opinion on a game. We're not reviewers. We haven't done there. It's got to be our relationship and our sort of laugh and banter that we have with each other. So we
Yeah.
really lean into that. So although it's a video game podcast, it's mainly us arguing and swearing at each other, which people seem to like. So
I like
all
it.
right.
I think I don't think I think we talked about it briefly the way we kind of set up our podcast, and it's a similar story to yours where we did a little bit of a test run and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever actually talked about, because I messaged Poetic with the idea and like the initial kind of business proposal, if you will. And I remember initially I was just searching because I, like you, I knew I needed someone to bounce off, and I was kind of looking around. I was like, "Oh, I've had a few good interactions with Poetic," and then it kind of clicked, and I was like, our accents are perfect contrasts of each other. Like,
Yeah.
Poetic is so well spoken and eloquent, and
Are
then
you trying to say we're the stupid Northerners
we
and
are
Bugsy
yeah,
and Poetic are the well spoken?
yeah,
See,
yeah.
Oh
this is what I
God.
always, because I always get angry on my podcast because I always go, people believe Boxy more and they go with him and they side with him because of the way he
Yes,
sounds.
yes.
And I get really angry because there's sometimes on the podcast he'll say something and I went, "That's not what you said," and you go, "I did," and he's so like assured with it, and I'm like, "You fucking," I'm like, "I'm editing this. I'm definitely going back." And there's one point where he said 1890 rather than 1990, so I said this guess, and he's laughing at us, and I'm going, "You said 1890." It's like, "No, I didn't." Right, let's move on. I'm like, "No, I'm all right. I'm going to leave a gap now, and I'm editing it. And I'm putting it in." And I was right, but I honestly think Poetic will be able to get away with all sorts. He could tell us
Oh
the
yeah,
moon is
I'm
made
gonna
of cheese,
I'm gonna
and
try
people
that
would
now.
believe him.
yeah. He's just gonna slip a few things into the podcast.
Yeah,
So
exactly. Yeah.
did you know the PS2 was available in 1850?
Yeah,
It
honestly,
was.
that voice, and it is, and it's crazy and stuff like that. But it works. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
cool.
That's
Yeah.
it. That's it. Okay, we're gonna move on. Talk a little bit about gaming now, like specific. I know we talked about content and gaming's kind of came in and out of that because we are all gamers. You are obviously, as your name says, you're a lot more retro. So I've seen you do a video about this, but I want to know your opinion. What is the most embarrassing game in your collection?
Oh, I've got a view. I put a video up recently because I did have to open Bratz Stars or Bratz Champions or
Oh
something
dear.
next to my mum on Christmas Day at the age of 38, and she looked at us going, "The reason why you're getting that at 38?" I'm like, "It's the means to an end. Just leave us alone."
Yeah.
Um, I honestly think when it comes to gaming, those games like the kids games and stuff like that, like I've got Hello Kitty strawberry shortcake games and I've got all those types of games. They don't embarrass me as much.
No.
It's more like
Hmm.
I streamed Catherine for a little bit. And I
Catherine.
don't know if you've played Catherine.
No.
Catherine's like a puzzle game. It's on the Xbox 360.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's an anime type game, and it's based on sort of this guy who's having an affair with a succubus, but it's very anime, and women and stuff like that. And it got voted for, and I played it, and I just thought, if people come in and see me playing this, and they come at work
Yeah.
tomorrow, and they're like, why are you playing like this? Or
Yeah.
if I'm playing like Dead or Alive beach volleyball. Like
Yeah.
like that for me is more embarrassing than having like a kids game. I mean, I've got kids now, so I can just say, "Oh yeah, I've got Curious George in the collection because my boy loves Curious George." You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
No.
I
Yeah.
can't explain
Yeah.
away jiggle physics on the 4-year-old, really, can
Yeah.
I?
No.
To be completely honest, like I bought Stellar Blade and I wanted to play it, right? And then I booted it up, and then my missus walked in and was like, "What on earth are you playing?" Haven't touched it since. I literally
I had
haven't touched it since.
I had a similar thing, but I just ploughed on and got the platinum with Near Automata. Because Near
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Automata B2 is very provocatively dressed.
Hmm.
And the missus again, what is this? It's the gameplay, the storyline. It's amazing. It's yeah, whatever. You're looking at her ass. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, whatever. But then like
It,
I've got stuff as a kid where like I mentioned Conker's Bad Fur Day. I tricked my parents into getting me Conker's Bad Fur Day because it looks like a cutesy, cartoony
mm,
kids game. And then every
Yeah.
time like I'd be playing it in my room as a kid, my mum would come in to like put washing in the drawers or something like that, and I'd have to not move because I was frightened like a scouse dung beetle would tell us to fuck off. You know what I mean? And then I'd get the game taken off us, and I'd never see the end. You know
still
what I
haven't
mean?
forgiven the developers for that, by the way. Why the Scousers dung beetles? What's going on there?
That's
Do you know
brilliant.
the two shout outs? Scousers getting this. We talked about Northerners getting angry. It's happening now. the two Scousers in games, right? There's a Scouser who's a dung beetle in Conquers Bad Fur Day. The other one is the spy in Commando, so we're grasses as well.
Yeah.
And then what's the last one? In Worms. In Worms you can make their accents Scouse, so we are dung beetles, grasses, and worms.
Right, don't
It-
don't talk to me about northern accents because there's never Mackems in game. By the way, a Mackem is someone from Sunderland.
yeah.
Ah, didn't
And
know
a
that.
Geordie is someone from Newcastle. So if someone says they're
Yeah.
from Sunderland, please do not say, you're a Geordie then, because you will insult their sensibilities. But you will always have Geordies in game because it's such a strong and recognizable accent that someone hears a Geordie accent, they go, "Oh, that's where you're from." Well, fuck off! It's not. It's my
Uh,
bitter enemy. You know, it's my bitter enemy down the line. Stop saying I sound like them.
I
And
mean,
I have this
I was
online,
gonna
all online.
say,
My
but
community will just, my community will just go, "Oh, you're a Geordie, and you're all." He's when new people come in the thing, they'll say, "Oh, he's from Newcastle. Oh, he's a Geordie," just to wind me up. And
well,
just like I've got family now, it doesn't get to me that much. It's just all the time, and it's a really strange thing. I don't know whether you know from over your neck of the woods, Dan. Like if you're from the northeast, you can recognise a Sunderland, Newcastle, and Middlesbrough accent. They're all different to us. But if you're
yes,
from outside the northeast, they all just sound the same.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I can attest to that.
probably the closest one for me is like I call myself a Scouser because I'm from a place called Bootle in Liverpool, which is like to kind of a celebrity from Bootle is Jamie Carragher, like as Scouse as Scouse can be. And then
Yeah.
probably the closest accent to that is the Wirral, which is over the water. That's Birkenhead. They to everyone else they sound the same, but to us they're woolly-backs. Like no,
Mm.
no, not happening. But I was just gonna say another thing on accents. The one of my most viewed videos is I misspoke slightly in a video, and I said in the video I said as a Scouser, but I said it like an American apparently, and I said as a Scouser, and loads of people were like, "F off, you're not a Scouser. You said it with a Z," and I was like, "What? What are you on about?" But I
I've got I've
digress.
I've
Go on,
I've
go
got a
on.
question.
Is it about
So
accents?
you unfortunately not, no. Um, so Tom, you mentioned about like your the breadth of your collection and stuff.
Mhm, mhm.
What's the first game that you will introduce your kids to?
Oh, what a question.
So I've sort of had this already. So my 4-year-old is dabbling with. He sees daddy in the games room. He, General sometimes that's my fiance will sometimes put up me on the screen when I'm streaming or stuff like that.
Oh, that's cute.
Oh,
Um,
bless.
and
That's
uh,
sick.
so he knows that game and stuff like that. So he wants to lean into it because I'm doing it. Obviously, my
Yeah.
my little girl, she's only 1.5, so she's nowhere near it. So at first, I bought him the Bluey game, and
Okay.
because he loves Bluey, and I thought,
Mm.
and he just didn't gel with it. And then it was about a year later, and we were in Game Station for a change. Sorry, not Game Station. Christ, there's a blasphemy
I was
past.
gonna
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
say.
say
he's not that old.
throwback.
He's not 20.
Yeah.
We're in CEX. I don't know
Hmm.
where that came from. I used to work at Game Station when I was at uni, so I don't know where it's come from. Anyway, I was in CEX and he recognised Captain Toad or Toad. He's, oh look, Dad, that's Toad off Mario. And I went, do you want to get it? And he's like, yeah. So we got it. And Captain Toad's a great game. It's like the Lego games where you both can play, and it doesn't
Yeah.
matter what one person's doing, the other person can complete the level, if that makes sense.
Oh, nice.
So if
Yeah.
the other person's fallen off and not doing very well, you can still sort of plow through the level, and you can still make progress. So he is actually playing, and he's not doing very well, but we're making progress. We're doing what we need to do, and the levels are moving on. So we've played that together. That's the first game that we played, and then we played a little
Ah,
bit of Mario Odyssey.
Ooh,
Um,
nice.
that together. He gets to be the hat, and I'm Mario. Again,
Yeah.
it's those games, and I've not really got a big Switch collection, or Nintendo is my smallest collection because I was as a kid I went Mega Drive, N64, but they're very expensive to get. Then I went
Yeah.
PlayStation 2, Xbox 360. I went Xbox One, but then moved on to PS4, and I'm on PS5 now. So my Nintendo collection, I don't have loads of nostalgia for, and I'm collecting the sort of the better games on those systems. But I just know now with two kids, my Nintendo collection is going to grow because although
Mm.
they're
Yeah.
evil bastards, they know how to make a kids game very well.
They do.
So
They do.
it's similar to that. So that's it. But what I think about now is because I was thinking, oh, what's the first game I'm going to play with them? And then I thought it can't be anything I want them to play because it's not age appropriate. So it's going
Yeah.
to be something you
Yeah.
can access. So I start thinking in my head, what are the games I can't wait to watch them play, or what are the games that I can't wait to play through with them? And it's little things like I can't wait to play through Streets of Rage with them. And that sounds really strange, but me and my cousin, when we were kids, played the hell out of Streets of Rage, and
Yeah.
it's one of my Streets of Rage 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I can't wait to full circle and sit with him and play through it,
Yeah.
and my little girl as well. I think she's going to be more of a gamer than him. To be fair, she's daddy's girl. She does whatever. She
Oh,
likes
bless.
Oh.
football, and she likes sitting in the games room more than he does. Um, and then it has to be Final Fantasy VII. Can't wait
Oof.
to watch him go through Final Fantasy VII. And he will play the OG before the remake, before that
Ooh.
stupid Chadley robot bellend Ubisoft Gates side quest creator comes in. He will play the proper game.
I tell
And
you what,
maybe
if you weren't allowed to swear on this podcast, I'd have to edit a hell of a lot out.
well, yeah, yeah.
I'm only messing. I'm only messing.
Oh,
Sorry, Final Fantasy VII, the remakes could have been just amazing, and I do enjoy the games, but they've just tried to put so much into appease new people.
yeah.
And I've still bought both of them deluxe edition because I'm an idiot, and that's why they keep coming.
Like
Hey
me with
ho.
FIFA.
Oh,
Um,
I went off FIFA. I went for the platinum on FIFA 19, and I got the
Bloody
platinum,
hell.
but that was the worst like 7 months of my life.
I
And I've
don't
never
platinum
bought a FIFA
anything.
since.
I don't platinum anything with online elements now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I
same.
can't do it.
yeah, there's the odd one I did. Before I started streaming, I was a platinum like collector, so I had like I've got 104 platinums.
Oh,
Bloody
Um,
hell.
I thought I
but I
was doing
just
good with my 11.
but I can't do it now with streaming because it's just if my channel was platinum collecting and trophy hunting and that type of channel,
Mm,
I could put it up there.
Yeah.
But like I played Final Fantasy VIII on stream, the PS4 version, and so it had trophies on it, and I've got every trophy apart from one, and all the other trophies just came naturally, beating like the hardest weapon and stuff like that, and unlocking stuff and blah 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 blah.
yeah.
But one of them was have like 1,000 fights, and I finished the game, and I was on like 270 odd. And I
Oh
was like, I'm
wow.
not gonna just stream me running around a field fighting
Yeah.
800 times because
No.
if I was a platinum hunting thing, people might stream in for that. It'll go into the content of the long form video I put, but I can't do that. And then when I'm not streaming, I'm not gonna go, oh, I want to relax. I want to chill out a bit. What shall I do? Let's run around a field and beat 14 mosquitoes up a minute until we're fucking sick to the back teeth of it. So
I'm gonna clip
I've
that so there's no context that it's about a game. Just so I want to chill. I'm gonna go kill the mosquitoes.
yeah. But then, so I don't really platinum hunt anymore. If there's a game that I really like, I was gonna try and platinum hunt, platinum Sifu because I played that
Oh,
just
Oh,
that's a
before
Sifu's
Christmas,
brilliant
brilliant.
game.
and I just loved it. And I was getting to a point where I had the skills where I was like, I could platinum this, I think,
Mm,
and then didn't play on it for a while and went back to it, and I was like, nah, I've lost it. I haven't got enough hours to put back in to get as good as I was.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's a
I
hard
think
game.
Oh, I think I got through to like the third. There's 5 bosses in there. I think I got
Mm,
round like through the third boss where I'd only lost 1 year because one of the
Oh,
trophies you have
wow.
to get through under 30. You have to get through the whole game under 30, I think.
wow.
Um, but then when I went back, I was just getting absolutely annihilated by the boss, and I
Mm,
thought, I have there's. You can imagine with the collection of 2,000 games, my backlog is pretty big.
yeah.
I can't be spending
Yeah.
hours trying to relearn this game, so it
No.
sort of
Yeah.
took a went to the side a bit.
Mm. Okay, so we're gonna kind of move on to some gaming hot takes. I don't know if you have any that you can think of retro, but me and Poetic both have one each. So if you want us to go first while you have a
Yeah, if you go
think,
first,
or
I'll have a little. I'll have a little
yeah.
percolate while he's
And
doing
All
that.
right.
one of the Poetics one you touched on, I want to see. This is going to be
Yeah.
heated. This.
Yeah. I might have to like leave the room after
Yeah.
I've said this. Final Fantasy VII on the side, remakes are better than the original game.
Oh, it's like you've just had this just to hurt me. What is this about? Right, I'm gonna give you the benefit of the doubt. If you were boxy, I'd have jumped down your throat. But I will. You're a learned man, Poetic. Give me your reasons why. Let's kind of just check first. You have played both.
I haven't played any Final Fantasy games, so
Well,
that's why I
how can
said
you have this opinion if you
Final
haven't played
Fantasy
any of
aside.
them?
No,
Final
he
Fantasy
means just
aside.
remakes in general.
In
Oh,
general.
right. Oh, all right. Final Fantasy aside. Oh, I thought you were
Yeah.
just trying to say.
Just
thought you were
targeted
just
him.
trying to say
No.
that Final
No.
Fantasy. Right. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
dear.
Why do you think that then?
Because the reason why I think that is typically now, when games are remade, you can hop back to the previous look and style of the game on the fly, but a lot of the issues that plagued the original game tend to be removed, and controls tend to be more modernized and stuff like that. So I've always felt that playing a remake, a well done remake, because there are terrible remakes out there, right? They tend to be better than the original. And I think the prime example of that is Silent Hill 2, where I do feel like the remake is better.
So are we talking about remakes in particular or remasters as well? Are we putting them both in?
Ooh,
Because I've recently streamed I've streamed 4 of the Tomb Raiders on the remastered collection. And
yeah,
they're pretty much the same game, but with like, a paintbrush over the top of them. Whereas
yeah.
remakes, I feel like are a different beast. So
Gosh, that's a great question, and if I'm being honest, that's a difficult one for me to answer, just because it's a very fine line between the two in some instances, right? Um, I'm gonna cop out here, and I'm gonna say I'm gonna let you decide which.
There
well,
we go.
I don't get splinters in my arse. I don't sit on no fence. So I will just say that I completely agree with you. Remasters for general are better, completely better, because it's the same game, but it looks better. It's simple
Yeah,
as that.
Yeah.
And again, when it comes to remasters, like in Tomb Raider, I've been playing recently when I streamed it. You see, you've got the button where you can press it and it goes back to the old graphics, which is really cool because in a way you can just play it. It has the old controls in or a new controls scheme, so you've got more accessibility for anyone who wants to play it. It gives, like, I know for a fact when my boy gets older, I'll play him the Tomb Raider 1 remaster rather than the
Yeah.
original Tomb Raider 1. I love Tomb Raiders growing up, and that's why I've been streaming them. But they are better, but the game is exactly the same, so you can't say it's
yeah,
not better. And you might have nostalgia for the old view, but I mean, there are some times when like they completely change the art style, which I think. But when it comes to that,
yeah,
like the Soul Reaver got a remaster, that was great. Remakes, I would say 90% I agree. 90% I agree that the remakes tend to be better, and it all depends, because I'm gonna with you there. The only one it's not true of that I can think of, and there will be more out there. There'll be people screaming at me in the comments, going, "Well, you never thought of this one, you idiot." Final Fantasy
Who
VII.
was that then?
I
What
don't know. He just
happened then?
popped in. Final Fantasy VII remake, in my opinion, is not a remake because it doesn't remake the first game. It's got a new
yeah,
narrative. So
yeah.
it's
So
not a remake.
reimagining.
It's a new, yeah. And the way that it's going with spoilers, if you've never played any of them, I'm not going to go deep into it, but you might want to do there. Is you play through practically the same plot as the first one, but there's so much added in as if this is it happening again, and it's a multiverse and it's type of thing. So you're not playing the same plot because you obviously know them, played them. There's these things called whispers. So what happens is you go to do stuff that happens in the old game. Sometimes
Yeah.
stuff that didn't happen in the first game happens. So at the end of the first game, a character dies that doesn't die in the first one. And then these whispers come in and change it. So it goes back to the way it was in the original. And they don't die.
That's a bit odd.
So then the
Yeah.
whole plot is about these whispers are trying to keep the plot the same as the original. And we don't know whether these are evil or because they want the world to
Oh,
end or they want to try and save the world like it was saved in the first one. And this is another universe. So it's not the same game, in my opinion. Although it's called remake, it is not a remake. It's
yeah.
a different
Yeah.
story. Silent Hill 2 remake is a remake. Resident Evil 4, Resident Evil 1, them remakes are remakes. It's the same game, but they've sort of redone it with new graphics
Hmm.
and getting rid of the bugs and stuff like that. And that you might have nostalgia for the original game and you might prefer playing the original game, but on a technicality point, in black and white, the remake's got to be better most of the time. Most of the time, because at the end of the day, they can't stray too far from the source material because
So
that's
yeah,
how
of
they're
course
making
not.
Yeah.
money. Because people are buying
Yeah.
the game because they like the original, so you don't want to change it unless you're Square Enix and your head's made of shit.
Yeah.
S-
Yeah.
Well, this episode has guaranteed that we're not going to get sponsorship from Nintendo or Square Enix
Yeah.
or Ubisoft.
It happens on our podcast. I don't just do that. We offend the audience as well. So I'll try not to offend anyone listening, just for you guys.
We're holding out for that HelloFresh sponsorship.
Oh, I'm going for the Manscaped. I've got to
Nice,
tame the beast.
Oh,
Got to tame the
nice.
beast down there. Got to tame the beast down there.
nice. Okay, you ready for my hot take?
Come on, mum.
It's not really a hot take, it's just an opinion. And it's based on one game in particular that I've been playing on stream recently. So I feel that games are now starting to get the PS2, Xbox 360 era feel back. And the game that makes me feel like that is Astrobot. And I think this is going in a good direction because I feel like with Astrobot, you could know nothing about the game, nothing about the characters the little bots that you have to collect, nothing about them. It's just right, you've got to go collect this stuff, do these levels, enjoy. And it reminds me
Yeah.
very much of the old kind of like you think of the original like Crash Bandicoot and Spyro. There wasn't really a plot. It was like do these levels, rescue this person. Same with Mario
Mhm.
back in the day. But I feel like it's going in a good direction. And I want to know your take on that.
So are you saying harken back to that 360 PS2 era's a good thing?
I believe so. But with like Poetic's one, so he was on about the remakes. I think that we're making new games with the like if you put Astrobot and reskinned it with PS2 graphics, you could very easily sell to me that that is a PS2 game.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think it's going for the better, and I feel like we need to kind of steer away. My hot take's probably more that we need to steer away from AAA and go more
Mm.
the simple is better and more fun for gaming.
But here's my opinion: is indie studios the only studios that are like studios back in the day? And back in the day when
Yeah.
people made games, they made games for fun
Hmm.
because they wanted to create something fun, and they created games because they loved the art or because they were gamers themselves. That's why people there because there wasn't a huge. I'm talking about when I was first playing a Mega Drive, the Commodore Amiga. There wasn't huge amounts of money in it. You know what I mean?
No.
The arse had fell out of
Yeah.
the market when it comes to video games until the NES came back, and people were creating games to make what is fun that people will play, and also because you didn't have online and things like that, that was how you had to sell your game. I have to sell my game on it being fun to play.
Hmm.
Whereas now your game is built on how much money can it make from Ultimate Team gambling fucking practices.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
how many flashy lights and mobile game esque adverts? Click this, go on the next one. Live service. Can we create a to make this game better? No, I don't hate the live service model. I think the games like Fortnite have really thrived on it. But I
Hmm.
feel like what happened is the success of those games has meant every single studio, AAA, whatever, is like they don't look at the games, they look at the overheads. And I just
Oh yeah,
don't understand why a game like Expedition 33 can sweep up at the Game Awards and they don't take notice at all. And it just shows that they don't care because they go, oh, look,
yeah,
Expedition 33, that's great. It made so much money. Yeah, we made more on FIFA. Yeah, you did. From doing what? Reskinning the same thing that you did last year, not rewarding any people who've had it for 10 years and put in hundreds of pounds with it and saying, keep your team or this, that, and the other. No, start
yeah.
again because that gets us more money. You know what I mean? Give have allegedly practices where people stream and get good pulls, so people who are
Yeah.
watching think that they're gonna, you know what I mean, get those things, and that's where away from now. Indie developers are like the developers of old, thinking, "What good games can we make? What games can we make it fun? What do I want to make?" And I completely agree with you. And you do get
Yeah.
the odd, like I mean, Astrobot's probably classed as a triple A, I'd have thought, because it's from Sony.
I
I don't
mean,
know, but I mean, I suppose it
yeah,
depends how much money's put into it. But
Yeah.
I honestly think Astrobot probably did as well because they didn't see it as a big flagship franchise game like um a, a
like a
Ghost of Your Eye,
Last of Us or
yeah, or
something like
Last of Us
that.
or anything like that. So there wasn't that much as much scrutiny on it, and it just turned out because they didn't have that pressure on them. I feel like it became a good game. But I do feel like PlayStation does it best. Like if you think of Last of Us, if you think of
Yeah.
God of War, those games haven't tried to introduce live services and stuff like that. And I'm not saying that the Sony are perfect, but I just think when you look at even Nintendo now, when
Mm.
um like Mario was it Mario Kart 8 before Mario Kart World? It was, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And they like
Yeah.
re-released it 4 or 5 times, and it was still full price. And yeah, more. Here's
Yeah.
another track. Here's another track. Here's another track. Here's another character. Buy it, download it, and I think if it's negligible, it's like, oh, here's a new 50 pence for a new like character that actually adds something to the game. Oh, superb. Like DLC, I'm not against DLC. I love it. I was there when the first DLC horse armor on Elder Scrolls Oblivion was coming out, and people laughed in the face. Who's going to pay £3.50 for gold horse armor on your horse? And look at where we are now.
I
Do you know
know.
what I mean?
Yeah.
Kids, you'll know, Dan. Kids at school. What do you get for Christmas? Roblox.
Yeah,
Robux for $15 still on Fortnite
I
or
think
whatever it is.
so. Yeah,
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah, I agree with you. I hope it's going down that. I think we've always seen it where people try and jump on the trend. If you think about the start of 360, when Gears of War got big, every FPS turned into a brown grey shooter for a
Yeah.
good couple of years, trying to emulate their success. It's just we're in the process now where the game that's got success is a live service game. The game that is making the most money worldwide, that is the most popular game in the world, is a live service game. So everyone will try and do it, and I'll get excited for games like Marvel's Avengers, and then I'll turn it on, and it'll be a steaming pile of horse shit, and I'll be absolutely fuming as I sit through, because I'm an idiot, and still spend 130 hours platinum the game doing these pointless live service bullshit things at the end. But I've given them money, and they'll keep doing it because I give them the money. So how are we
Yeah.
going to stop it?
Oh, absolutely.
nice. Okay, so we are going to look at. Oh, sorry, you haven't done your hot take.
No, I was just thinking, unprepared. The one that normally offends people, and it might offend you guys being a bit younger than me,
Go on.
because you'll be on that sort of precipice where you don't want to admit that you're old, and you're getting there.
We are getting there.
But
Poetic more than me.
The Xbox
Yes.
360 era is retro.
I
The
completely
Oh,
agree.
100%.
Yeah, like it's 20
100%.
years ago since that console came out now, and probably at least 10 years since it was discontinued ish. And when I say that, people are like, oh no, or they say that there's different levels of retro. Like, oh well, there's like I understand that Mega Drive and 360 are completely different levels of retro. Um, but 360 is 20-year-old games. Like what I think when I was a kid, and I was playing the Mega Drive, if someone had said to give me a console that had came out in the 70s, like a Pong game,
Yeah,
I'd have went, this is retro. And we're at this, it's just because Xbox 360 games look really good and they got the HD and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Like people can't. Oh well, that's retro. But I feel like every person in their life gets to this point, don't they? You get to
Yeah.
about 30 to 40, and people start saying stuff are old or retro, and you're just like, no, it's not. I had that when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? When you go to museums now and you see a mobile, like the first mobile phones, you're like, I had one of them, you cheeky bastard. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
It's like my
Little
stuff's in the
Nokia
museum.
brick.
Yeah, like and
I
see,
mean,
so Poetic's Game Boy there in the background.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
if you think about how old that is, it's it's madness. Like how long game and how far it's come on. But
It's
then it
mad.
excites me because if I think from when I first started gaming Mega Drive to 20 years before that was like the ZX Spectrum stuff like that, the Pong game. And then I
Yeah.
think what's going to be like 20 years in the future
Mm.
when I can finally retire and sit on my ass doing out playing games all the time. Are we going to be Ready Player One yet? So I can relive my youth.
That's
Well,
I think that's the way it's gonna go. I mean, VR. If you'd have told me when I was playing, Aladdin or the what like Tarzan on the PS1, that one day you can put a little pair of glasses on and you can be inside the game, like I would have
You'd see it in
laughed in your
movies, wouldn't you?
face.
It's like the stuff you would see in movies.
in
Yeah,
movies, yeah.
it's like Men
Yeah.
Yeah.
in Black, isn't it?
Like if you watch Back to the
Well,
Future now, like most of the stuff that they go on about, apart from hoverboards, which is a shame, most of the stuff like
yeah,
we've
that
got.
is.
Like you go in and the guy's got loads of TV screens on, and you're
Yeah,
like, and they can watch anything they want. Like that's what we have now. You know what I mean? I mean, you
Yeah.
wouldn't want to watch 10 TV programs at the same time, but I don't
No.
know.
no, but
But on that point, I mean, I'm pretty sure I was in the science museum, and they have like a display of like things over the ages, right? And it like starts from like the 60s and goes up to like the early 2000s, and there was an Xbox 360 there, and that's when it kind of hit me that like, yeah, like
Yeah.
that is
See,
old.
I can never escape it because my class of kids at the minute are 7 and 8 years old. So most of the things I talk about, they don't know. Like going completely different angle, going to football. Like my kids, what like till last year, didn't see Sunderland as a Premier League team, and I didn't know why. And then like it just comes to you because we've never been in the Premier League since they've been alive. Like to
yeah,
me,
Bloody hell, yeah.
most of my life we've been probably 50-50 of my life we've been like in the Premier League and 50% we haven't been in the Premier League. To them, they have never been in the Premier League. Like
Yeah.
that is meant like kids will make sure you know how old you are
I,
every
I
single
had
day.
a
Yeah.
conversation with just keeping with the theme of football. I had a conversation with a child in the school, well, a teen in the school the other day, and he didn't know that Liverpool had a Ballon d'Or winner. And I was like, well, yeah, like Michael Owen. And he was like, who? I was like,
Oh,
one
Well,
of the best English players to be around, you know? But,
well, on that note, right? So there's 8 years between me and my sister, right?
mm,
And this was like a few years ago, and we were talking about like the internet. And then I said, "Ah, yeah, I remember when I used to come home from school, I'd have to tell my mum, well, our mum, I'd have to be like, Mum, I'm gonna be on the internet for like an hour."
yeah.
And she was like, "Why would you need to tell mum that?" And I was like, "Because she couldn't use the phone." And she was like, "What do you mean she couldn't use the phone?" And I was like, "Yeah, she like you literally couldn't use the phone and the internet at the same time." And she was like, "You're chatting shit." And I was like, "No, genuinely."
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that happened in 8 years. And I was so surprised because I was like, "You were born when this was happening," but obviously she wouldn't use the computer. But yeah, I was like, "This literally happened in your lifetime."
Like
Yeah.
I get frustrated. Sometimes I get frustrated with the kids in class. I'm like, when I was at school, if I needed to make a project, I'd have to go to the library and get an encyclopedia, and like that makes it sound really old, but it was true. Like I remember in year 7 or
Back
8 of
back in
school,
my day.
yeah. But like
Yeah.
mobile phones came out properly when I was in year 9 at school, and the internet was a little bit before that. So like when I was in primary school and stuff like that, we didn't have regular. Like I left primary school in 1998, and we didn't have regular sort of internet access or anything like that, and it blows kids' minds. And
Yeah.
like
Don't worry,
when you show
don't
them
worry, Dan.
a computer plugged into the internet, they're like, "What's that?" Well, it's plugged into the internet because they just see internet as wireless. They
Yeah,
just assume internet's wireless as
Yeah.
well.
don't don't worry, Dan. That I didn't have to go to the library. I had the internet.
No.
Oh, whatever.
But
Well,
do you know what?
I'm used to being the oldest when it comes to this video game
no.
malarkey, so I'll
Do you
take
know
it.
what the one thing that I always love to say it like so I was born in April '98, and sorry to make you feel a bit older now, um,
I
but
thought you smiled when I said I left primary school in
yeah, yeah.
98.
But I'm pretty sure that Google became a thing in like August '98 or something. So whenever one of the kids says like, "Oh, it's all right, I'll just Google it," I'll just go, "I'm older than Google. You can ask me."
But um, before we move on, like I think it's bloody amazing. Like not even bloody amazing. It's actually fucking scary. Um, I saw this video where they were showing kids floppy disks, and they're like, "Oh, it's the save button," and I was like, "Fucking hell."
Yeah, because
Wow.
they see these symbols and they don't recognize what they are. Like
Yeah.
a folder symbol is an old paper folder. They just
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they don't like see it as anything. Like it's just wild. Like I did this like art lesson and it was based on like copying Andy Warhol, and they were doing,
Yeah.
so you know how he did like he did Marilyn Monroe and stuff like that. So we talked about Marilyn Monroe. I knew they wouldn't know who Marilyn Monroe is. But then I got templates of famous people for them to like create their own, you know what I mean? Like sort of like copy his style and stuff like that. And they didn't know. I think two people in a class of 30 knew who Beyonce was. And that is like ridiculous. But
Queen
if you think
Beat.
but if you think about it, in the last 10 years, she sang one song about horses or something, and then that's it. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
and
Mm.
so I'm teaching like kid at that time I was teaching kids that are 10 years old. It was last year. She hasn't really done anything in the last 10 years. So to us, Beyonce is
Yeah.
just everyone knows Beyonce. You know what I mean? It's
Mm.
like the Queen. Everyone knows Beyonce. But it's even getting to that stage now where people are like, "What's this?"
Who? Yeah.
The one last point on that, because I feel we've got off a tangent here and we're rolling with it. But
Yeah.
the best one that I ever had was, I believe, I'm gonna get the modern artist wrong here, but it was someone like Jay-Z and Paul McCartney did a song together, like really contrasting artists. And I remember I was working in a different school, and one of the kids whispered in my ear and went, "Isn't it so nice of Jay-Z to give that old man a chance at singing?" And I was like, "He's one of the Beatles, mate. Like, come on."
Was it not Kanye West? I think about
It very well could have
Yeah, I
been.
think it was
I can
Yeah,
Kanye West. Yeah.
I can remember Paul McCartney doing a track with someone like
Yeah,
that. Yeah, yeah.
it was Kanye
yeah.
West.
But
It is
I
mental.
was like, I was looking at the kid, and I think that because I was a
That's you know
TA
what it
at the
is. Was he
time.
expelled from school because you're a Scouser and the Beatles are surely held up on a high
But
pedestal up
do you know
there?
what the worst thing is? The school that I was working at was where John Lennon went. So like,
Surely it's called John Lennon School now. Can't not be.
no, it's not. They got a plaque outside
I mean,
though.
I shouldn't say that because I could probably just doxing you if it. This is where he works. Get him.
No, I don't work there
Oh,
anymore. I don't work there
All right.
anymore.
Okay. Okay.
But swiftly moving on, that was our conversation about gaming, everyone, and gaming hot takes.
gaming and Beyonce.
Yeah, we're going to just to kind of wrap up the podcast. We're going to do some very quick fire questions. So just a little sentence or something.
Mhm.
So Poetic's going to kick us off, and then we're going to go question for question for you
Okay.
to answer, Retro.
Cool.
Okay, if you're willing.
Yeah. Of course. Good.
Okay.
Your favorite gaming memory?
My favorite game in memory. Ooh, probably as a kid playing with my cousin. Like I said, Streets of Rage 2,
Yeah.
World of Illusion. I didn't do much multiplayer game as a kid. So I've got so many memories, but I love those.
Nice. Okay. PlayStation, Xbox, or Nintendo?
PlayStation.
Love it.
Oof.
You know, it's-
What's
I
your
got an Xbox One and they lost me. And Boxy always has a go at me, but I got it. And for me, the most important thing on a console these days, because they're pretty much the same,
Mm.
and Xbox has given all the games to PlayStation anyway, is the UI, it's the user interface. And he always
Mhm.
goes, "Why are you buying a console on the UI?" Now I can understand back when it was like PS1 and 64, they're completely different beasts. But if I play a game on Xbox and I play a game on PS5, unless I've got them side by side, I'm hardly going to see any difference in them.
Mhm.
So the only thing that
Yeah.
applies for me is when I started up, getting to what I want to, having a look at what I need to, and I hated the Xbox One.
Yeah.
Absolutely hated it.
I was
And
always the same.
I'd have stuck with them because I went from 360. I love the 360. Went to that, didn't like it. Went to PS4, and until PS4 or PS5 puts a step wrong, PS6, I'll stick with them.
Mm.
Um, your what would be your dream game?
Oh, dream game. The next Final Fantasy, not remake, um, but to basically just copy Expedition 33's homework.
Okay.
Ooh,
I like it.
ooh, okay.
Okay. This is a difficult one. Your top 3 games of all time.
It is a really see. I'm a variety gamer as well. Like
Yeah.
I will
Doesn't
play
have to
anything.
be in order.
Yeah,
Maybe just give us the ones that come to your head.
the top three, right, the top three games I'll go. Two of them are from my childhood, which
Mhm.
I'd say I'm gonna cheat a little bit and say the Tomb Raider series. No,
Yeah,
I
that's
Okay.
fine.
won't. I'll
That's
say
fine.
Tomb Raider. I'll say Tomb Raider two. Tomb Raider two.
Okay.
That was a peak. Final Fantasy VII, which I've already mentioned, and for me, narratively, The Last of Us.
Ooh,
Ooh, okay.
what
I've
are
I've got
picks?
I've got a question. Um, are you one? Are you looking forward to the? I guess it is a remake of the Tomb Raider game. And secondly, do you have any concerns about it?
Well, here's the thing. They've already done it. I'm not excited about it because we had Tomb Raider Anniversary, which was a
Mm.
reimagining of the
Yeah.
first one. We've had Tomb Raider Remastered, which is the first one again with lovely graphics, and now we're getting it done again. And I'm thinking I will enjoy it, but it's not as if it's been. The game came out in 1996, and now we're getting a reimagining that we never had before.
Yeah.
So I do like it. My only concern with it is it has that in the trailer. It has that little, the like not the hook shot, but the little hook like that she can throw the wire and then she
Yeah.
goes away. That's from Anniversary, and I don't really like those mechanics in it. I prefer just the normal old school ones. But I think fine. I'm more excited about the new Tomb Raider game, as in the what's it called again? The one that's not this
Uh,
year, the one after Tomb
yeah.
Raider.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more excited about that one. Hope they do something good with that than the sort of remake. I think.
Nice.
Wicked. And then my last question probably. And this is a big one, so think before you answer.
I never
Mm.
do that.
CRT TVs or 4K displays?
4K displays.
Oh, I'm
Really? I'm
surprised at
surprised
that.
about that.
Mm. The CRT that I have is for light gun games. So I've got Time Crisis 2 and stuff like that. And you
Mm.
need a CRT for them to work. It's just the way they work.
Yeah.
And it adds stuff sometimes when you're doing content and stuff like that. It looks more old timely and stuff like that when you've
Yeah.
got the actual console plugged up.
Can
I
I
have
be a
a
real like youngin here? Can
yeah.
I be a real youngin?
hmm
What does CRT stand for?
Cathode ray tube.
Tube, yeah.
Yeah, so
Okay,
it's got these
I'll
tubes
forget that.
inside that light up. It's basically the light tubes inside that light up the screen.
Right. Okay.
It's the
I just remember them as the bulky back TVs. That's how I always
yeah,
remember them.
because they've got the bulbs and all the gubbins in there.
Right.
Until we got onto like LEDs and OLEDs and stuff like that. But for me, I've got so all my content stuff that I play and stream online is all on original hardware.
Nice.
Um,
Yeah.
I've got an upscaler. I think it's an OSSC. It's called, and there's probably lovely ways you can set it up and get it perfect. But I'm not like that. I'm a plug and play. I'll plug it in. It's working great. So I can play my Mega Drive up on a big screen, and I might lose heart zero point 0.2 of a second in reaction
Yeah.
time or this that, and the
Yeah.
other. Most of the new ones as well, you can put CRT lines on and stuff like that, the filters on to make them look good. And just for me, just as a simple Neanderthal man, bigger is better. and I've
Yeah.
got it's in the games room now, which I've had it about a year now, but I've wanted it my whole life. It took me 37 years. It took me 37 years to get to it. I've got a 90-inch TV. And playing Sonic the Hedgehog
Bloody
on that, it was that or a projector. I was trying to work out which was best. Trust me, it took me 37 years to save up for it as well. And I love sitting there and thinking. I used to be in my bedroom on my own, sitting watching this 15-inch TV
Yeah.
across, and
yeah.
look at me now, Ma.
Yeah.
I just think it's really cool, and I understand people who like CRTs better, and that's absolutely fine. I haven't got anything against that. Just for me, it's just awesome.
I'm just thinking of like a 90-inch TV and looking at the
Yeah,
wall. I'm
no.
like, would that even fit across my
It's
entire wall?
So last year I converted my garage, so it was always the goal to do it. So we
Yeah.
converted the garage into a room, and the whole back wall is the TV fills the whole wall.
Oh, mate.
I'm gonna do I think Yorkshire Gamer tagged me in a man cave sort of look round,
Mm.
Oh
and said,
yes,
"Oh,
please
you
do.
next." But I'm waiting for my laptop to come back because I think people might be interested in seeing the streaming setup and stuff as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want that sort of in there so people can see it and stuff. But it's awesome now. Like we've got two air blow up beds, and I put them in there. And me and my little 4-year-old, if he's had a really good couple of weeks or something, we'll have a sleepover down there. And he's
Oh.
watching he's absolutely mind numbing shit kids TV shows. But like just the fact that I'm there with him, and it's just
Yeah.
like the full wall. It's just like as a kid, I would have loved that.
Yeah.
And because
Yeah.
it is obviously a cinema room as well. With it being that big, so we've got the surround sound in. Um, I can't wait, obviously games as well, but to watch the classic films with him in like
Oh.
it's at the cinema. You know what I mean? He gets to watch like
Yeah.
when he gets old enough, Terminator 2, he gets to watch Matrix and stuff like that,
I was
like
about to
it's a
say the
cinema.
Matrix.
Yeah, like it's a cinema.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I
That'd be
can't
class.
wait, like rather than just on a TV or waiting for it to come out. Like so I'm building up the like collection of Blu-rays and stuff. So when they get old enough, I can say, let's watch this and sit and watch them.
Oh mate.
Yeah. That would be so good.
Yeah, because up until a year ago, I'd never seen although I've got 2,000 games, I'd never seen, and been collecting 12 years, I'd never seen my collection altogether because I
Mm.
had 2,000 games, but where do you put 2,000 games? So they were in
Yeah,
cupboards
exactly.
all over, and it'd always been a goal to have a game room, to have a cinema room. My missus loves cinema, not the she's not a gamer, but she loves cinema,
Yeah.
so it'd always been a goal of us to sort of convert that room, and we just got to the point where we could do it, and luckily I have family members who are builders and stuff that could do it because I am
Oh.
in no way an actual gadge. I am can't no calluses on these hands.
Oh mate. No, but
Okay.
I
Sorry, go on.
no, I was just gonna say, obviously I follow a lot of other video game content creators, collectors, all of this stuff. Your collection is one of the ones that I really want to see in person. Like
Yeah,
I
Yeah.
so yeah, like that
it's
sounds
it's
that
it's
sounds nuts.
it's weird because I'm sort of building up a community now with the streaming and stuff like that, and we got about 120 people in the Discord. And we did a community meetup. We've done two now, and the first one was up near my neck of the woods, and it was people who'd been following us for a year and a bit, and I'd got quite close to, and I had class as friends now rather than
Mm.
just like
Yeah.
community members. The second one was it's more people starting to come, and you know what I mean. You've got to be a bit more careful when you get like 200 people and you don't know them. You know what I mean. So they're more like sort of
Yeah.
neutral ground and that. But we met them the first day and stuff, and I met everyone and stuff like that. And I said, "Do you know what it is? Do you want to come to my house for a barbecue tomorrow?" And obviously they'd seen it on stream and stuff like that. And I said, "You can have a look at the collection and stuff like that." And it was weird because I haven't got anyone in my family who would sit and look at it in awe because they're just coming and go, "Oh, have you got that
Yeah.
many games, man?" You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas having like a group of people who like appreciated they stood and looked at it the same way I do. Like I still look at it and go, like you see it as a kid, like 30 years ago. If I showed a picture when this will be yours, if like you save and you work hard and stuff like that, I'd have been like, nah, don't believe you. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still do have to pinch myself sometimes. And again, it's an expensive collection, and first question always gets asked on stream: how much? When I'm doing a collection stream, how
Yeah.
much is it? How much is it? How much is it? What's your most expensive game? Always things people want to ask.
Mm.
When you've collected for 10, 12 years, most of my expensive games I bought when they weren't as expensive as they are now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
And a lot of the games, I'm a gamer. I stopped sort of trading games in at about PlayStation 2. So a lot of my games came from, like, if you talk to any gamer and you think, say, how much have you spent on video games in the last 10 years? And we go back to when everyone was buying it physically, you know what I mean? They've probably spent a lot anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It doesn't add much on to go into CEX and pick up Hello Kitty for £1. You know what I mean? Just put that on top of your 70 quid game that you're buying that's just came out anyway.
I
Uh,
was sorry to cut you off. I was very surprised recently because I found out, Steam.
mhm,
I found out there's a way that you can see how much you've spent, like
really?
in total. And
Yeah.
I went back, and my first ever game was Football Manager 2014 on
Mhm.
Steam. So that's probably, early 2014, late 2013 that I got Steam. I've only spent, and this is my dad sharing the account as well, £2,500, I think, which
Yeah.
I think's in,
Over 11
16,
years.
11
Yeah.
years.
That's
Yeah,
That's
but that
not a
at
lot.
that
yeah.
at that age you were 5 years old, weren't you? Back in that year, so you didn't have money to spend anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, the
Yeah.
last 2 years you've been able to spend money, so that's
Yeah, that's
understandable.
it. That's it. It's because I haven't had a
Yeah.
shave, honest.
No, but it is mental, people, because all people always, especially when they're not collectors. You know what I mean? People
Mm.
come in and they ask for games
Yeah.
and they want to see limited editions and stuff like that. They're gamers. People come in and say, "Oh, how much is that?" It's like, you're not a gamer. You're wondering how much you're interested, but you're not a gamer. You're more
Yeah.
thinking about how
It's
much it is and stuff.
priceless is the only
Yeah,
correct answer.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's because, like, I think that's one thing that people don't get sometimes. As much as you're putting this content out and you're wanting people to go, "Oh, that's cool," and ask you
yeah,
questions about it, you're doing it for you. And you
yeah,
said
yeah,
you were doing
Yeah.
it for,
Exactly.
you've been collecting for 12 years, but you've only been documenting it for the last nearly 3.
yeah,
So it just shows that it's you before anyone else.
yeah,
And I
yeah.
know that sounds a bit selfish, but it's true. We all do
No,
this
if
selfishly
they
because we enjoy
like I
it.
say, if the missus just said, "Oh, content creating's too much, like we can't do it as a family and stuff like that, you're gonna have to stop," I'd still be collecting games. You know
Oh
what I
yeah,
mean? So
Yeah.
that's how I see it. And if anything, the content creation helps us to collect more. Do you know what I mean?
yeah,
Because
Yeah.
I'm at a point now where I'm starting to make a little bit of money, not huge. I'm still net negative if you come into all the things that I've bought for the stream, like a new mic,
Yeah.
upgraded
Yeah.
camera, and stuff like
yeah,
that. So you're like, "Oh, you're earning money. You've hit 10K." Oh, great! Like, as I hit 10K, they decided to change the algorithm so you get pennies and you don't get views. But even from things like my Patreon and subs and stuff like that, and stuff off Twitch, I don't get a huge amount. And
no,
I try to put it in save. And every time I upgrade a camera, a mic, a laptop, the laptop that I bought is sort of right. I'm waiting for I've got enough money in that, because I always see it as, like, me and the missus see it, and it's true. Like, our money now is the kids, not ours,
yeah,
when it comes to anything
Yeah.
really. So for me wanting to pursue this would be really selfish for us to use my money and stuff like that, and then,
yeah.
you know what I mean, feed the kids on pasta and rice for the next month.
I'm a celebrity IRL.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'm just waiting for the kids to get old enough so I can buy stuff for them that I want. You know what I mean? When they become
Yeah,
gamers,
Yeah.
oh, you want you want Ghost of Yordai for Christmas? Oh well, yeah, we'll get you that one.
yeah,
Yeah, that's what we're waiting for. But I don't think he'll, or either of them will ever get into physical collecting, because everything will be digital by the time they get
Digital,
old enough.
yes.
yeah. That's the
Unfortunately.
thing. I mean,
Mm.
I feel a bit gutted. Like, you can see behind me. You can't really see where the Crash Bandicoots are. That's my physical collection. That's all I have.
See, that's
And
why we know you're a child. That's why we know
yeah,
you're a
I
child.
I, I
There it is.
know, I know.
I'm waiting for the apocalypse, right? And all the servers go down, and you'll be knocking on my door, and I'm sitting there with
Yeah,
2,000 games we
exactly.
can all
Yeah.
play.
Yeah,
I'm willing it. It's like I'm a, what do they call them? Like the preppers or whatever, who get ready for
Yeah.
the end of the
Doomsday
world.
preppers.
And but
Yeah.
instead, I open. Oh, I'm ready for the end of the world. Instead of having all the canned foods, it's just video
yeah,
games. What we eat? We don't need to eat.
yeah. You're just there chewing on like Ghost of Yotei or something.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okie dokie. I think that is a good time to kind of wrap up the podcast. So, Tom, Retro, if you could just give us a little kind of conclusion to kind of say, where people can find you, promote anything that you want, because you've done us a favour coming on here today, and just, yeah, go for it.
I appreciate it. Yeah. So, here's a tip for any new streamers. When you set up something, set up accounts on everything you can, even if you don't think you're going to use them for a long time, and choose the same name. Because I got
Yes.
halfway through and had different usernames on everything, and when I was trying to promote it and I was trying to put stuff on videos, it was a nightmare. So I've managed to get around it. So it's Retro Revival Tom, all one word, everywhere. So that's TikTok, Twitch, YouTube, and I stream. I'm not streaming at the minute. I obviously Retro Revival. I do stream and videos about my collection and things like that. But I do also stream games every Sunday. We have a challenge. The last challenge before my laptop broke was how many times will I die on Lives of P in 2 hours?
Ooh.
Because I'm a Dark
Ooh.
Souls noob. Do you want to have a guess what it was? Do you want to have a guess? How many times do you think?
In two
Lies from
hours.
I didn't start the timer until I was through the little tutorial mode.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I'll say this. I do have the platinum on Elden Ring, but
Ooh.
I used apparently off Boxy a cheesy wizard build, which apparently is cheating. But I still got
Okay.
the platinum on it. But
I am
apart from
gonna
that, I've never played a Dark Souls.
I am going to say that you did very well, and I'm gonna say you only died 6 times in
I'm gonna
two
say
hours.
10.
Oh, Poetic's close. I was nine
Ooh,
Ooh.
times.
Okay, that's
But I,
not bad.
that's all
but I
right
did
though.
this. I did this because I had every week. So basically, what I do is, if you want to come along as well, join the Discord. The links on my page. It's an awesome community. I haven't really mentioned it, but it's full of people who support each other, look out each other, have a sort of a love together for video games. But it's become more than that. People become friends and stuff on there and support each other through good times and bad times, which is brilliant.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do, I did start it, but again, it's there. Every Sunday I do a challenge, and all the community guesses, and they get points. So the top 5 get points, and whoever has the most points at the end of the month gets a voucher. I
Oh,
had
nice.
done a couple of challenges on how much money can I earn in an hour on Grand Theft Auto Vice City, which went terribly. And then Sunderland beat Newcastle, and my challenge that evening was how many objectives can I complete on Tony Hawk's 3 in an hour and a half. And I had a couple of drinks when Sunderland beat Newcastle, so that one didn't go well as well. So the
No.
Lies of P one was sort of me saying, "Look, I am good at games, honestly." So I do well on there. So I do that, but we do all sorts, and I've got plans mainly on Twitch. Come and join me on Twitch. TikTok has primarily been where I've grown, but Twitch is my big push for this year.
Yeah.
And obviously as well, as we mentioned, 30 something gamers. If you search it on Spotify or Apple or Amazon, wherever you listen to podcasts, wherever you listen to this wonderful podcast, me and my friend Boxy Hearty talk about video games. Every now and again, have a guest on. And mainly just talking shit to each other.
Yeah.
So yeah,
It's a really good podcast, and you contrast each other
appreciate
very,
it.
very well.
Appreciate it.
Okay, so Poetic, if you want to sign us off, we would have you doing the sign off retro, but we can't see you, so we'll hope that you're doing it with us as well.
Okay, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
I'll picture it in my head.
Yes.
Well, gamers and listeners, thank you so much. Retro Revival, thank you. Honestly, this has been inspiring to me,
Hmm.
um, um, as well as entertaining. So thank you so much for spending the best part of a couple of hours with us chatting shit about video games. Um, and yeah, so gamers, listeners, thank you so much. And as always, happy
Happy
gaming.
gaming.
Oh, I don't know whether to join in. I've spoiled your ending.
You're all right. You're all right.